Fantastic. Thank you, Tori. Hi, morning, everybody. Lovely to see so many of you joining us here this morning for a little talk all about university preparation and academic success here at Abbey College, Manchester. So where do we start? There we go. So Abbey College, Manchester. We're a little college. Okay, we're a small college. We've got about 210 or so students from 40 different countries all around the world, and we're based in a building right in the centre of Manchester. If you were to look at Google Maps and zoom in on Manchester, zoom in on the city centre, we are right slap bang there in the middle. So it's a fantastic location to be. Obviously, Manchester is a really cool city. It's a very vibrant city, very young city. Lots of international students here at the many big universities. So we've got about 210 students on roll. About 30% or so are domestic, so they come from Manchester and the surrounding areas. And everybody all mixes together. Everybody all works together, eats together. Those students who are in boarding, they all live together. We're not really going to talk much about boarding today, but if anybody does have any specific questions about boarding, then please feel free to ask them. So we are mainly a sixth form college. So we mainly have students aged kind of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 who are with us here in order to get to university. And we prepare students for life at university because we are, like I say, we are a sixth form college. And so students do have a lot more independence than at some of the more traditional schools or other colleges. We don't have any uniform. Everybody's on first name terms, so I'm principal, but you could call me Chris. There's no bells. All of those things just, lead to a little bit more independence and students kind of taking responsibility for themselves. And we've got a fantastic teaching staff here, all of whom are absolute subject experts, many of whom have worked here for many, many, many years, and they are very experienced at helping students through A-levels or the IFP. And helping them to get onto that next step, which for most of the students here at Abbey College Manchester is university here in the UK, although every year we do have students who want to go abroad. And again, that is something that we can help with. So we are a college of academic excellence. We recently had an ISI inspection, as all independent schools do, and they judged our achievements, our students' achievements, our academic achievements to be excellent. So obviously, if you want to apply to a good university, what do you need? Are strong academic results enough, or what else do we need? So we can offer a lot more than just excellent academics. So we help prepare our students for university in those different ways there. So because we're small, the maximum class size here at Abbey is 12. So you'd never be in a class of more than 12. And the average class size is somewhere around about 8 or 9, but that does depend very much on which subjects you're taking and which courses you're doing. And of course, being in such small classes means you get extra academic support. If you're in a class of 30, a teacher won't have much time to spend with you. If you're in a class of 3, obviously the teacher has more time. So there's an awful lot of academic support available. We use Microsoft Teams in all our lessons, so all the homework is submitted through Teams. A lot of the resources are available on Teams, and Teams has a fantastic instant messaging function, and the students and teachers use the instant messenger for communicating. If a student is sitting down in the learning centre doing their work and they're a little bit stuck, they can just instantly message their teacher for extra support. The teacher will often put on extra catch-up lessons, extra support lessons, and compared to a larger school or a different type of college, there's an awful lot of individual bespoke support available should you need it. Okay. Obviously, we've got English support, we've got IELTS for those students who will need IELTS as part of their offer from university. And then we've got a fantastic pastoral team who are here to support with everything non-academic. UCAS support. UCAS is the system through which everybody applies to university. and when our students are in year 13, kind of at the end of year 12, so this time of year, all of the students start the UCAS process and they start signing up for UCAS, and they start doing their research into the courses and the universities they wish to apply for. Again, all supported by two of my assistant principals, Mark and Nigel. And then in year 13, all of the students are then in a UCAS support class until they've applied and until that process is finished. Okay, so again, individual bespoke support available, because it is a strange system, the UCAS system, and it will be new to absolutely everybody. So we support you, we guide you through that process, and make sure that your application goes off in good time. We've got a house system, lots of clubs, and we have some partner universities who we work specifically with. And I'll talk a little bit more about those when we kind of talk more about the IFP. But we have about 8 or 9 or 10 partner universities who work very closely with us and with whom we work very closely to support our students kind of getting onto the next step. So there we go. That's kind of what we do in terms of courses. You know, we are very flexible in what we offer and in what we can offer and in what we do offer. You know, we make sure that the students are doing the right courses for them. In a more traditional school, if you're age 15, 16, you have to be doing GCSEs, 17, 18, you have to be doing 16, 17, 18, you have to be doing A-levels. Here, we understand that not everybody has the same journey, not everybody has the same background, not everybody has the same experience, exposure to English or the academic subjects. So we take a very flexible approach, and we'll try and tailor a course to our students rather than forcing people into subjects they don't enjoy or into courses they don't particularly want to do. So, you know, GCSEs can be done over 1 year, 18 months. Sometimes students do them over 2 years when they need to work a lot on their English. A-level is over 2 years, and then the International Foundation Programme, the IFP, it's either a 1-year course, it's an 18-month course, or it can be a 2-year course. Okay, so again, we're very flexible, offering all those, and any of those courses can be done in conjunction with any of the sports courses, and that football and basketball, which are well established, and then cycling and tennis, which are brand new for September 2023. Okay, and again, if you're interested in academic studies and sport, then we can have a chat more about that, and I'm more than happy to do that at some point. In terms of academic excellence then, summer 2022, our students got some outstanding results. And I'm not going to talk you through those. You can see them there, just some highlights: 38% A-star and A at A-level. Some fantastic IFP results there. 73% was the average medicine score, which was really good. And then at GCSE, 25% was grade 9, 31%. 9 to 8, which we were really pleased with and really proud of our students. So here we talked a little bit about universities. So far, these are the offers, or these are the universities who've offered places to our students for September 2023. So a big range of universities there. And then, as you can see on the right-hand side, a huge range of different subjects, different interests that our students have. I'm not going to talk through all those. You can see there's a big range, both of universities and of subjects that our students go on to do. And again, we're more than happy to help support applications to all of those universities and for all of those subjects. Because despite the fact we're small, we offer a very, very large range, both of A-levels and of IFP courses. So A-levels then. A-levels is probably the most well-known pathway, the most respected pathway kind of around the world. And it's a very good pathway. It's not necessarily the most appropriate pathway for all students, which is why we also offer the IFP, the International Foundation Programme. But A-levels, so students traditionally in the UK would start A-levels after GCSE study, coming from a different country. It depends kind of what level the students are at when they get to age 16, 17. And A-levels are a 2-year course. We find there is a big jump from kind of GCSE to A-levels, so we put extra support in to help our students kind of manage that transition and to help them get used to the type of work expected of them during the A-levels. So normally students will take 3 subjects across 2 years. Occasionally students take 4. When they do take 4, it does tend to be maths, further maths, chemistry and biology, or maths, further maths, chemistry, physics, depending on the student. But on the whole, most students would take 3 subjects. Universities only want 3 subjects, okay? So when you apply to university, they will make an offer on 3 subjects, and it, you know, depending on the university, it'll be A star, it might be BBC, depends on the university and depends on the course you're applying for as well. Okay, so you don't need 4. Some schools will say you start with 4 and then you drop 1. We just say start with 3. Sometimes, like I say, sometimes start with 4, but lots of international students, you will also have to do IELTS alongside the A-levels, and for us that's a normal timetabled lesson. Okay, so the English support, the IELTS, will be on your timetable just like the academic subjects will. There's a list of subjects there that we offer. Again, if there is other subjects that you are interested in, again, have a conversation with us. If we get enough interest in various other subjects, we might be able to offer them. But those are the subjects that we normally have on offer to our students. So over the last few years, there's a list of universities there and degree courses that our students have gone on to. As you can see, Manchester is a very popular choice. Lancaster, Leeds, Nottingham, Newcastle, Northern universities on the whole is where most of our students want to go to. And at the top there, you can see Will got into the University of Oxford last summer. We're very pleased for and proud of Will. He's currently studying chemistry, and he was one of the students who did 4 A-levels. He did maths, chemistry, further maths and physics, and got A star, which was absolutely outstanding. And there we go. So there are some of our A-level students over the last few years with the universities that they have gone to. Really proud of all of these students and all of their achievements, because with the exception, I think, of Dan and Abhay, all of them were working in second language. So some of them, they're UK students, but English wasn't their first language. Which obviously adds an awful lot of difficulty to the whole A-level process. So there we go. Will, with his 4 A stars, currently at Oxford studying chemistry. Eamon, he got 3 A stars and an A, currently at Lancaster doing computer science. Shun got 3 A stars. She's back here in Manchester doing computer science. And Sarp also got 3 A stars. And he's doing biomedical sciences at Imperial, which is absolutely fantastic for all 4 of those. Okay, so I've kind of talked a little bit about the International Foundation Programme. So the difference between the International Foundation Programme and the A-level programme. So most people traditionally would do the IFP, the International Foundation Programme, in 1 year. And it's accepted by most, but not all UK universities. So you wouldn't be able to go to Oxford or Cambridge. You probably wouldn't be able to go to Imperial or LSE, or probably KCL, but sometimes KCL from the International Foundation Programme. And unlike A-levels, the International Foundation Programme is a modular programme, which means that so students will start with 2 strands rather than 3 subjects, and then they will start. So let's say, for example, you're doing business and maths. You will start with business 1 and maths 1 in September, and then in December have the exams for business 1 and maths 1, and then in January the following year you then start with business 2 and maths 2. Okay, so you gradually build up your overall percentage, so it's less high risk than A-levels, with it being modular, and which is much more the way that university assessment takes place. Obviously, A-levels is a 2-year course accepted by all UK universities, and with the exception of the creative arts, it is 100% exams. Okay, so this morning there is business studies A-level exam going on, and it's the first of 3 papers. Okay, so if you do 3 A-levels, you'll probably have 9 exams at the end of 2 years. during the exam period. And if you pass, you pass. And if you don't, you don't. Whereas with the IFP, you're much more in control of your own assessment and of your exams, with it being a modular approach. So the International Foundation Programme, so it's we'll talk about the one-year course and then the different courses. So to do the one-year course, you have to be 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 on entry, and you have to have an IELTS level of 5.0, apart from for medicine, which is 6.5, because the medical programme is a lot harder, it's a lot faster than some of the other courses, and you have to have your 5 GCSEs, a grade 4 equivalent, and 1 year study at level 3. Okay, so that's 1 year of year 12. So in other words, you wouldn't be able to go directly from GCSEs to the IFP. And the reason for that is because ultimately the IFP, it's at the same level as A-levels. Okay, so the IFP qualification and the A-level qualification are both what we call level 3. And you wouldn't be able to go from a level 2 to a level 3 without some preparation. Okay, and the students who we find perform the best and achieve the best results and attainment from the IFP are those who do a year of year 12 before starting the IFP, or who come and do a 2-year IFP. Okay, so the 2-year IFP, you'd need to be between 16 and 18 on entry, slightly lower IELTS, so 4 to 4.5, and you need to have completed year 11 or equivalent. And the way the 2-year IFP would work would be probably more English input, and then it would depend on your interest. It would depend on what subjects you want to do. We might do some GCSEs in that year. We might do some of the IFP courses and then some different ones the second year. We might start with some of the A-level courses and some of the IFP alongside it. We're able to make a bespoke program depending on your interests and what you want to get out of the program. And a lot would depend on your previous study, and a lot would depend on your level of English. And we'd be able to make a really good bespoke 2-year course for you. We've got, I think, in the current IFP cohort, there are 5 or 6 who are on the 2-year program, and they've all got fantastic offers from fantastic universities, and they're all getting kind of 70-80% in their various different units, depending on kind of what those units are. We also offer an 18-month IFP, so that would be starting in January. And again, this is for students aged 17 to 21, IELTS of 4.5. And again, the first 6 months, we would have to see, we'd be able to make a bespoke program. We regularly have a large January intake. So for the first 6 months, we can do lots of English, we can do some maths, we can do some preparation for the courses that you're then going on to study. All right, so this is what I was saying about the flexibility. We don't have to have September entry because I've got such a fantastic staff here. We can support entry at any time of the year, but in January as well. So the various different pathways that are available are there, but we can also create bespoke pathways for students. So business could be Biz 1.3 plus Biz 4.6, right? There's 2 different business strands. It could be business and economics. It could be business and maths. It could be economics and maths. It could be economics and business, right? Lots of different pathways available. This year, for example, we've got one boy who is doing physics and RS. Okay, so we're more than happy as long as it is timetableable. In other words, it fits in the blocks. We're very happy being flexible with the different pathways that students choose. So sport, there you can see down at the bottom. Again, we do sport and business. We do maths and biology. We can do sport and biology. Lots of the students have gone on to study sports-related degrees at university. The sport IFP ties in well with the sports courses, so with the football, basketball, cycling and tennis. And last year we had lots of students go on to do food and nutrition, sports management, sports science, sports journalism, various different degrees all around the kind of sports world. But again, talk to us and talk to us about what you want, and we can hopefully make a pathway which would suit you. So there we go. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier in terms of the exams. So 6 modules over 3 terms. So you would do, let's say you're doing Biz 1, 3 and maths. So you do Biz 1 in the first term, Biz 2 in the second term, Biz 3 in the third term. So that's why it's 6 modules over 3 term. Each module, it's 9 hours per week, and each module is equivalent to 12.5% of the overall grade. All right. So when you do your exams at Christmas, your Biz 1 will be worth 12.5%, and your maths 1 will be worth 12.5%, which is 25%. Obviously, in 3 times 25 is then 75, so that gives you 75% of the overall IFP is the subjects, and then the remaining 25% is what we call key skills. Okay, and the key skills is maths key skills, universities key skills, and then for those students who are on the medical pathway, it will be medical skills instead of the maths and university skills. I'll talk a little bit more about medicine in a little while. And the reason that universities like the IFP is because it's a bespoke program. We work very closely with the universities. We work in partnership with the universities. They see the content, and sometimes they suggest other content that they would like to see, which again, with it being a program that we write, we can add, we can tailor the course content to what the universities are after. And then what they also like is the maths key skills and the university key skills, okay, because it's a really good preparation for what you'll need to do at university, okay? So the university key skills are note making, our referencing, our essay writing, our presentation, our group work skills, all of which are skills you will need at university, but you don't necessarily get taught them when you do A-levels or any previous study. So again, we've developed that program based on feedback from what the universities like and what the universities want. So it really helps the students, and it's a fairly easy way of picking up a good percentage. If you listen carefully to what your teachers tell you to do, then it's a way of picking up an extra 25% potentially, which could make the difference between getting the offer from university and not getting the offer from or not making the grade for the offer of university. So all of the IFP are accredited by the NCFE. Okay, so despite the fact that the teachers here write all the papers and write all the content, it is externally accredited. So this is accredited by a recognised external company. Pass mark is 40%, and the typical offers range from 40 to 80. And again, that depends on the subject, that depends on the university. Okay, so for medicine, they might say you need 75% with a 7.5. In IELTS, they might say you need 70% with a 7.5 in IELTS. For business related courses, it would depend very much on the course and on the university, but a typical offer would be somewhere around 60 to 65%, again, probably with a 6.0 or a 6.5 in the IELTS. Okay, and there are 3 assessment points, as I've explained, throughout the year. They are December, March and June, and you also have the opportunity to resit up to 2 modules in the June. Okay, so again, using my business and maths example, if you do really badly in business 1 and maths 2, you could decide that when you do your summer exams, so your June exams, you could also resit business 1 and maths 2 to try and get those percentages up. Okay, and obviously you can't do that with A-levels. So this course is very much designed around the students and with the students' best interests in mind. International students are free to apply to any university from the IFP, like I say, with the exception of Oxford, Cambridge, and some of the big London universities. But we do have a number of partner universities who will always make offers. There's no guaranteed progression, but they will always make you an offer. Okay, and here is a list of those partner universities: Aston, Bradford, Chester, Keele, Lancaster, Liverpool, John Moores, Manmet, Plymouth, Southampton, UWE, which is the University of West of England in Bristol, UA92, which is Sport and Business University here in Manchester, with degrees accredited by the University of Lancaster, UCLan, which is the University of Central Lancashire in Preston, and York. Okay, so some really good universities there. And we work very closely with those universities, and we also invite those universities to come and talk to all of the students every year So there's lots of input available. And again, every October, we have our own university fair, and those universities come and talk. And again, it's a really good opportunity for the students to talk to those universities, to ask questions, to find out more about course content rather than just using the internet. So here's some IFP students over the last few years. Dev gone on to Leeds, Sadek also on to Leeds, James to Sheffield, Adriana to Manchester, Harry to KCL, Josh to Bath, and Hi to Southampton. So a fantastic list of universities there by these students. And as you can see, students from lots of different countries there. And again, lots of different subjects that they studied. So there we go. Before, we saw a list of universities and subjects that A-level students had gone to. And here's a list of IFP progression. Again, you can see big range of universities and an even bigger range of courses that the students have gone on to study. Okay, so we're really pleased and we're really proud of what our students go on to do, because it's a fantastic list. So I briefly mentioned medicine a little bit earlier. So there are two routes into medicine. There's the A-level and there's the IFP. Obviously, the A-level is the tried and tested method. It's the traditional method. It's very difficult because a typical medicine offer would be A star, depending on your GCSE results and depending on which university it is. But the IFP route is a really good route, and as it's, the entry requirements are the same as they would be for the other courses. Here we go. So the course structure. This is why the IFP medicine is such a good pathway. Okay, so with the other subjects, as I've said, you would do, for example, Biz 1-3, maths and key skills. With the medical pathway, you do your biology and your chemistry as your main two, plus the medicals, key skills, and then you do 2 units of either maths or physics. Okay, and again, this is because universities want you to have an advanced level of either maths or physics. The universities don't mind if it is maths or physics that you do. So I do all of the IFP medicine interviews with the students. And again, sometimes students will say, oh, I love maths. It's definitely maths. I don't like physics. And sometimes they'll say, oh, yeah, really, I adore physics, but I hate maths. That's absolutely fine. Okay, there's no better choice. There's no worse choice. You choose which subject you want to do based on which is going to get you a better mark, basically, which you enjoy more and which you're better at. All right, so the biology is worth 37.5%, the chemistry is worth 37.5%, and then the final 25% is then either maths or physics. And again, you only take 2 units of those, but 3 of the other. All right, so in that little table below, you see kind of what the 3 different terms look like. And the medical key skills is a bespoke key skills course for the medics, and again taught by one of my assistant principals and one of my biology teachers, alongside the medical enrichment program. And so I said before, we have lots of clubs and enrichment on a Wednesday afternoon for students who are doing or who are wanting to apply for medicine. They have to do the medical enrichment program because it's really good preparation for them for interview and then for getting onto a medical course. And then kind of once on that course, lots of the stuff that they learnt in the medical enrichment program will come in useful. Okay, so the main areas they look at are medical ethics, understanding the NHS, medical practice, and key issues. Okay, we also do MMIs, which is the multiple mini interviews. We do those towards the end of term 1 because if you are interested in studying medicine, you will have an interview at university, and they will include the MMIs, which are lots of different interviews about different things, different areas, and we do those with students, again, on a Wednesday afternoon. They would go around college to 10 different stations, covering ethics, covering communication, covering teamwork, covering bedside manner, covering a role play, a kind of doctor patient role play. Again, all of these things are things which you would do, or you will do, at interview at university. So again, it's just another way that we help support our students. It's that practice, it's that preparation, so that when you do go in to university, you're not completely like a rabbit in headlights. You've at least done a little bit of practice with us here in college, and then more importantly, or just as importantly, had some feedback. Okay, the feedback, what went well, how can you make sure that when you go on the day, you do it even better? Okay. So various different universities accept the IFP medicine. Not all of the partner universities do, and not all other universities do. So so you get Aston, Buckingham, UCLan, St George's Grenada, Royal College of Surgeons, which is in Dublin. UCLan is the university that we send the most students to, because it's not too far away. It's just up the road in Preston. And then Aston is also a very popular choice for our students because it's not too far away. It's just down the road in Birmingham. I think there are a couple of others as well that have just started to accept it as well. We've got the University of Nicosia and the University of Antigua, and again, that's their Birmingham campus. So here it says the St George's University Grenada. It's not actually in Grenada. Well, it is, but it's their Newcastle campus here in the UK. And two of our students went there a couple of years ago, and they've got an opportunity to go and spend a year in Grenada. But they don't have to. They could stay here in Newcastle if they want. Okay, so as you can see in the IELTS requirements column, you will need to do IELTS. Okay, you'll need a high IELTS score. And again, that's not me saying that. That's not Abbey College saying that. It's the university saying that, obviously, because they're not going to have time to teach you the English. They expect you to come in with a very, very good level of English. Okay, but again, you will have, alongside the biology, chemistry, and physics or maths plus key skills, you will also have timetabled IELTS lessons. Okay, and the good thing about the IELTS compared to the other exams is you do the IELTS when you're ready. Okay, so if that's September, then you do it in September. If it's May, June time, then it's May, June time. Okay, and it really doesn't matter. And again, you know, unlike A levels, you get a chance to resit the IELTS as many times as you need to make sure you get the requirement that you need from university. The IELTS department here in college, they're very good at preparing students, and I'm more than happy to put on bespoke classes. They will do kind of diagnostic tests, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and then they can tailor the content of the lessons. They can tailor the support to the specific skills that students need. Okay, so if it's your writing, then we have the writing, if it's speaking, etc., etc., etc. So not all students who do the medicine pathway decide to go on for medicine. There are many different courses available to students who do the biochem and the maths and physics units. So there's a few examples there: biomedicine, biochemistry, biological sciences, etc., etc., etc. And regularly students go on to do those instead of medicine, or decide halfway through the year that actually medicine isn't for them, or sometimes don't get offers, and so kind of have to swap. And again, you know, we will support your entry for all of those. Two of my assistant principals, Mark and Nigel, do all of the UCAS guidance, and they're again available on Teams. Have a chat with them, come and talk to them in their office, and they can help answer any questions that you may have about the UCAS process and about any application to university. So the last few years, here's a list of medical related courses that our students have gone on to, and again, a good list of universities, a good range of universities there, and an interesting nationality mix of students who've gone on to do medicine or medical related degrees over the last few years. And there we go, 3 of our students from the last few years who've gone on to medicine: Sabah, Afrin, and Salwa. Again, really proud of all 3 of those, and of what they achieved here, and indeed what they are currently achieving at university. We heard recently from Salwa, she's at the University of Grenada. She's having a great time. She's coming in to talk to our IFP students next year, about the best thing to do and how best to approach the IFP, and then kind of what studying medicine at university is like. Obviously, a lot of you are going to be a long way away from home. First time you may have been away from home, studying, high pressure. Obviously we want to make sure we're taking care of you. Okay, so the pastoral side of college, the welfare side of college, is really important to us, and we very much have a student-centered approach. So there's various different places students can go, and various different methods of support available. So we've got a fantastic wellbeing room, which is new this year. There's a photo of the wellbeing room there in the top right, and it's just a nice space. And so we have a college counsellor who comes in every Tuesday. She bases herself in the wellbeing room, and students can go and talk to her if they have any worries. And again, the wellbeing room is a nice space for quiet meetings, quiet reflection, if and when students need to go. There was a common room. There's a photo there in the middle. And again, it's a space for students to relax and socialise. There are also some desks in there, because what we found is students like going in there to study. It's a less formal space than the learning centre. There's photos of the learning centre there at the bottom, and the learning centre is very much a silent study space. Again, there is support available. There's always a member of staff down there. And again, we're happy wherever students choose to work. Sometimes students choose to work in empty classrooms. That's all fine. Okay, so very, very happy to have students working wherever they want, as long as they're working. And we have a house system, and again, this is part of the pastoral system. So we have 3 houses here at Abbey College, Manchester, and they're named after famous people from Manchester. And those people are Bridgewater, Gaskell and Rylands. And each house, like each form, like each class, like absolutely everything we do here, is a big mix of nationalities. So the houses are vertical. There'll be students in 11, 12, and 13 in the house, and your head of house will be the person who looks after your academic and pastoral progress for the whole time you are with us here at Abbey. Okay, so if you've got any worries, any concerns, you talk to your head of house, and your head of house will be the first point of contact for your parents as well. Okay, so if parents, guardians, agents, if they have any questions about anything, they would get in touch with your head of house, and she will then be able to arrange a meeting with them, or talk to them, or find out what support you need and how we can help you. So as well as having the house system, you will come into a tutor group, and each tutor group is then in a house. Okay, and you would stay with if you're here for 2 years, you would stay with your tutor for 2 years, so your tutor gets to know you really well. And we report home to parents every half term. Okay, so on the whole, it's every 5 or 6 weeks. And then we've got a new system in place this year, and that's called Patch. Okay, and so the reports are done on this Patch system, and Patch stands, as it says there, for progress, areas of development, target grades, current grades, how to get to the next level, and homework. Okay, and then once a term, you would also have a formal meeting with your tutor on what we call ACE Day, which stands for Abbey College Evaluation Day, where you would talk through your own patch. All right, so you would talk through your own progress, your own areas for development, and your own how to get to the next level. So again, it's, as I was saying before, it's another step towards independence and towards reflection, rather than having teachers telling you what to do or talking at you what to do. You would kind of explain that to your tutor, because this is what you'll have to do at university. So there we go. Success in the sixth form then. So this is a new course that we have here at Abbey College. So all of our year 12 students would be put into a Success in the sixth form class. And the Success in the sixth form class, it's a program which, as I was saying before, kind of helps you learn how to learn. There is a huge jump from GCSEs or from any kind of level 2 study onto the A-level program, and the Success in the sixth form program teaches you and guides you towards, it says here, some study skills, research technique, time management, and it's based around the 5 R's, which are routine, rigor, responsibility, resilience, and reflection. So the way each Success in the sixth form lesson would start would be you would do your own, what we call a weekly health check. Okay, and it's a period of reflection where you you would fill out some details about what you've been studying in, let's say, maths that week, how confident you are, what you're happy with, what you're not happy with, and what you're going to do to kind of improve. And again, it's just that time out of kind of academic study, that time for you to reflect on what you think is going well, where you still need to improve. And then also we then teach you different retrieval practice methods, different ways of learning, different ways of revising, all of which are going to be absolutely vital for students doing A-level and then moving on to degrees. You know, as I've said before, the A-level is a 2-year modular program, sorry, a 2-year linear program. You can't leave all the revision and all the work to, you know, May, June of the second year. You have to be doing that right from September. And again, you know, the Success in the Sixth Form program will help you learn how to learn. It'll teach you new ways of doing that retrieval practice, of doing that note taking, which will be absolutely vital for any good student as part of their kind of weekly work that they do outside of lessons. So as I said before, the students all then have UCAS support. So towards the end of year 12, the Success in Sixth Form class then kind of morphs into a UCAS support group. And again, here are some things which are done through the UCAS class. Obviously, those of you who would be applying on the competitive courses, the deadline for those is 15th, 16th of October. So once that deadline is passed, you would no longer need to go to the UCAS classes. Okay, so the UCAS classes, the support is there for as long as you need it. Some students, it'll be January, some international students, it's much later. And Nigel and Mark are more than happy to provide that support, provide that help, that guidance for as long as students need it. Okay, because we do recognise that the UCAS and applications to UK universities is very different from what you may have experienced in other countries. So various range of clubs and activities available on a Wednesday afternoon. So Wednesday afternoon, the last hour of the day, we have enrichment. Huge range of things available there. So, you know, football, basketball, yoga, badminton, fitness, we've got board games, we've got science, we've got IELTS, we've got music, we've got an awful lot of different things. If there's something that you're really passionate about, again, come and talk to us and let's see if we can do it. Every year we have various students sometimes doing their own thing. Last year we had a student who went down to work at a local BMW garage because he was really into car mechanics. The year before that we had a girl who was really into horse riding, so she would go horse riding on a Wednesday afternoon. So again, enrichment, it is just that. It's something which enriches your curriculum, okay? It's a time away from the academic study, from the pressures of academic study, to go and do something else entirely. And there we go. So music, we had graduation a couple of weeks ago, and we had some amazing performances from some of our music students, which is really good. If you're in Clydesdale House, there's also kind of clubs and activities on every night in Clydesdale House. So why Abbey College then? So, you know, we are Manchester. It's a very safe city. It's a small city. It's easily walkable. So as I said before, the college building is right in the centre, and the boarding, it's about a 7-minute walk away over in that direction. If you're coming to join us and you're staying with a homestay, because of our central location, it's really easy to get here. There's lots of trams and trains and buses. So depending on where your homestay lives, it'd be really easy to kind of get here. It's a fantastic city. Special subject teachers, flexible learning programs, you know, lots of independence. All right, so lots of really great reasons to come and join us here at Abbey College, Manchester. So we hope to see you in September. Thank you, Tori.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. That was a really detailed presentation there. So please, if anybody has any questions, do put them in the chat function. I think a couple that came in beforehand, I've got some questions here. One is, so Chris, you talked in the presentation about how we had sort of Will, who was successful in gaining entry to Oxford. Can I just ask, is there a specific support program for Oxbridge preparation?
Yeah, absolutely. So as well as the excellent support that students get in class, we work with an external company called Leading Education, and they are able to put on a bespoke support package for students aiming for Oxford. Okay, so it's kind of interview practice, it's extra kind of support for subject specific questions as well, and obviously through Nigel, through the teacher, we've got quite a number of staff who went to Oxbridge for university, and again, they're more than happy sharing their experiences and talking to students about what to expect at interview, what to expect if you have to go down and do an entrance test, what to say, what not to say, how Oxbridge universities work compared to non-Oxbridge universities. So again, lots of bespoke support available, because every year we do have students who want to apply to Oxbridge. We do mock interviews with them here in college alongside Leading Education. So yeah, lots of bespoke support available for students who are aiming for Oxbridge.
Okay, thank you very much. And then another question there from the foundation program students. I can see, yeah, there were some very impressive university destinations there. So again, how does it kind of work? Why, do you think our students do get accepted by such good universities? Oh, I've frozen.
Not sure. I think Tori's now back in the room. Hello, Tori. She's back, but can't hear you. You're on mute.
Apologies, had a few technical problems there, but yeah.
Okay, so I've just asked a question about for year 11, if that was the question you asked me.
No, I was also asking, thank you very much, asking you a question about why do you feel it is that we do have such great university success with the foundation program students in terms of the caliber of university that they get accepted to?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good question. I think there are lots of reasons for that. I think the IFP has been going for a number of years, and we've worked really closely with these universities over those years. And as I said during the presentation, we listen to the feedback from the universities about the course content, and we can change it, we can improve it, we can alter it, we can kind of tailor it to what the universities ask for. So for example, the IFP medicine, the biology, it's all human biology, which is exactly what students need. The A level mainly focuses on plant biology, whereas the IFP is very much human biology. So I think the key skills, the university key skills, the maths key skills, universities, the feedback from universities is they really like that, because again, it's preparing students for what they're going to have to do at university. They're not going to be taught how to make notes, how to reference all of these things, whereas they're taught how to do that here, kind of in a very low stakes way. So they go to university knowing what to do. The course, the modular nature of the course, again, is very much like that's how universities now approach exams. More and more universities are moving towards these 24-hour exams. We're not quite at 24-hour exams yet, but having the 3 different assessment points throughout the year is very much more like the approach that universities do. So, it's a really good preparation. And again, the rigor is there. So the level is there. It's a level 3 qualification. So equivalent level qualification to the A level. And the universities recognize that. And yeah, it's a fantastic qualification that we're really pleased with, really proud of. I'm very happy that more and more universities are becoming partner universities, because they recognize that not everybody does A level, especially post pandemic. The kind of the bite size way of assessing and way of doing the IFP suits students as well as universities.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Okay, so it doesn't appear as though we've got any more questions. So I think at this stage we probably will thank everyone very much for their time and attending. As I said, it has been recorded. There will be a copy of the recording and the presentation available afterwards. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone for their time.
Fantastic. Thank you, Victoria, and thanks everybody for attending. And we hope to see you here in September.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.